Hey, welcome to NibblenFlix, the podcast where snacks meet cinema, and we discuss everything from buttery popcorn to box office buzz. I'm your host, Jeff Fried. Hit the like button so you get more eyes on the video. And if you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and also hit the notification bell so you can get notified when we upload new content on the channel. And also let us know in the comment section, what is your favorite snack you like to eat at the movie theaters or whenever you're watching a movie? And in this video, we're going to be diving into the movie together. Is it good? Like mixing two sodas into one drink? Let's find out. Years into their relationship, Tim and Millie find themselves at crossroads as they move to the country. With tensions already flaring, an encounter with an unnatural force threatens to corrupt their lives, their love, and their flesh. The movie is written and directed by Michael Shank, and the movie stars David Franco as Tim and Alison Brie as Millie. As CinemaCon Neo Studios came out, they had a surprise presentation. No one knew they were presenting because they weren't even on the schedule for presenting as one of the studios at CinemaCon. But they talked about all the success they had in 2024 and some of the movies that they were looking for 2025. And one of those films was Together. They actually brought out real-life married couple Dave Franco and Alison Brie to talk about the film. So they talk about some scenes and stuff like that, and they show us a trailer and some extended scenes as well. And man, they were very, very creepy. And especially with the part when you see in the trailer when one lady pops out her head underneath the blanket, that made the whole audience gasp, and it really got me intrigued to see what this movie is going to be all about. It seemed like it was going to be like a body horror with like humor, situational, not like jokes, but humor in certain situations. So I was really interested to see what this movie when it came out. And let's get into the good, the bad, and the final verdict. And if you haven't seen our videos before, I break it down in 3 segments, and let's get into it. The good. So the good about this film is the performances of David Franco and also Alison Brie. They play Tim and Millie. They're in a 10-year relationship, and they face the challenges with their strainful relationship. They move to the countryside because Millie gets a new job, and she is basically the financial provider of this relationship. But however, she feels neglected by Tim because Tim no longer is intimate with her. And also Tim is also a musician who was leaving his friends, the city life, and opportunity to make more money as a musician. And he feels kind of lost in place in his life right now because he doesn't know what to do. He hasn't really met the accomplishments that he wanted. However, he's just trying to find himself right now. And I like the dynamics because we know in real life there's always people like that. You might have been in a relationship like that. I might have been in a relationship like that. You see people like in these relationships where they're together, they're not married, they're not really, intimate with each other. The love is there, the lust is gone, all that stuff. Nothing's really fresh, but they stay together because it's like a security blanket and they don't want to be alone. So this is where these characters are at this point. In the movie. I thought that was very interesting that they actually did an amazing job showing it off with that kind of situation when it comes to these characters, and they have a very strong chemistry when it comes to this film. Michael Shanks does a fantastic job blending the creepy elements, the drama of the relationship. Those moments are very, very tense when you got the two characters arguing because they basically try and figure out if they want to stay together. And I thought that was amazing what they did. And building up the horror of this film, he does a great job building the intensity. It is very intense. It goes very, very high, but he also puts in humor and try to bring it down a notch. And he puts it in certain times where it's completely high and you just need a little knock down. So it's not like jokes or anything like that. It's more like situational humor, and he uses it very well. Like I said, this is a body horror film where two characters are being forced to possibly emerge into one, and you just see all the stuff that could be going on with them. And I think they did a fantastic job with that as well. Because when it comes to independency, both characters want to know if this is even worth to stay together or not. They're at a point or their relationship, they're not married, then there's no kids, and one person is not really living up to the expectations of the other person. Do they want to stay together? This is real true stuff, and I thought they did a great job of showing that as well. And also dealing with anxiety, what person would do when they're taken out of their comfort zone with someone they're not even sure they want to be with. And you see what they're going through with this super element that's, a supernatural element that's there too. That's basically forcing them and making more strenuous of the relationship. I thought that the way they executed was very well in this film. And going back to the creepy moments, and like I said, it does tease the body horror and does do body horror as well in this film, and it does it very well because there's a part of this film where the characters are very, like I said, the relationship is strained, and they're basically almost to the point where they're going to basically break up. And they use the elements of as body horror and being forced together by the supernatural element into a where it just builds up an intensity. Because one, how you feel if you're about to be immersed in somebody that you're not sure you want to be with the rest of your life, and two, who wants to get merged with another person anyway? Like, your conscience is going to be gone. Somebody is going to be gone. So why would you want to be basically merged into someone else? However, like I said before, the stuff that they did with this film was very, very, very creative what they did. And I was looking, and the budget for this film was only $17 million to make this film. And the special effects that they were using in this movie was very, very impressive. And some of those body horror scenes is some gnarly stuff. So if you have a weak stomach, do not eat no nibbles. Don't eat nibbles in this film if you got a weak stomach, because some of the stuff they were doing and some of the stuff they showed after effects from other individuals who actually merged could get you, if you know what I mean. But like I said before, with the budget that they had and the special effects they used and how they built tension, using certain shots to show the intensity in each character's faces while this was going on, it was absolutely good. And it was amazing to see the performances between Dave Franco and Alison Brie in those scenes. And you can see the chemistry. I mean, they're married, so they hopefully they had some chemistry. But just seeing what they can do together on film when it comes to those tense scenes was very, very, very fun to watch. The bad. So some of the bad of this film is some of the subplots when it comes to Dave Franco's character, Tim. And it was discussed a little bit, but not too much in depth to where you get a full understanding why he feels this way. And some of the things he was dealing with, he was having nightmares, and also he was dealing with anxiety, where that was kind of related, but it didn't go too much far in it. He tells Melly why, he's having nightmares and why he has anxiety, but not too much into it, like what's causing it and what can actually cure it as well. And they also didn't really touch too much as why Tim is not being intimate with Melly. And there's parts of this film where Melly is straight up to him like, hey, why we haven't had sex? Let's go have sex right now. Like, kind of like, I'm good. But it would be nice to see the point or that moment to see where Tim started feeling that way, or him saying why, even though it would be exposition, but at least explain why he's there fully in depth so Millie understands why they're not as intimate as they were when the relationship started. But like I said, they didn't go much in detail with it, and I felt that was one of the issues with the film. So the end of the film feels a little bit rushed, and especially when you find out what's really going on with the super power element thing that they're dealing with. And I felt like it could have been drawn out a little bit more. They could have explained more things a little more deeply. And they give you somewhat what's going on with this mysterious super element thing. They show you a little bit. And it's like a small exposition when it comes to what's going on. But it's not really full depth to where you understand exactly. They basically show you what other people dealt with and how they cope with it, rather than what is this thing that's causing. Like I said, they kind of gloss over it. The movie is about 1 hour 45, so I think that's a good runtime for this film. But I think like maybe another 5 minutes or so would have cleaned things up if they went into it like more deeply, so you kind of understand exactly what is causing it, how did it get here, and why is it making people try to merge it into one body. And I think that they would have given maybe 5 minutes more, or maybe that it just got cut out in the cutting room floor, and if like they want to keep the whole thing ambiguously, that's cool too. But I just felt like just a little more explanation would have worked for the ending of this film. But with these negatives that I have, I feel like it's more a nitpick than a complaint. The movie, I still enjoy the film. So let's get into the final verdict. So the final verdict of this film, I would have to score this film 4 out of 5 snacks. I would give it 4.5 if I want a half a snack. Well, who wants a half a snack? We want full snacks here, right? Right. So I thought this movie did an amazing job with what they were trying to do. I love the chemistry between David Franco and Alison Brie. And I love to see them in new movies. Hopefully this movie does well in the box office so we can get more movies with them. The blend of horror, body horror, humor, and the drama was absolutely superb. I loved how they used the camera shots, show intensity of what's going on. I love how they use the body horror too, and the special effects, being very impressive that this movie is only $17 million for a budget. The stuff they did with the body horror, with the CGI and the special effects was very, very, very good. I don't think this is the best horror film of the year. I'm still trying to figure out if I want to put Sinners in a horror category or not. But I still think this movie is one of the best horror films. And so far this year, horror has been either a big hit or a huge swing of a miss. But I think this movie is definitely a hit. And also, I really hope people go see this movie, because this is like one of these original films that is made. And the more we support these original films like this one, Sinners, and Companion 2, which I highly recommend go watching, we can get more films like this, and we can actually get more original content and see these directors put all their creative juices on screen for us to entertain us. So I would say, if you can go see this movie and you're not too squeamish when it comes to body horror, go see this movie and definitely check it out. But, the kudos to Neon. Neon's doing a great job when it comes to these films, and they're actually putting out another horror film later this year called Shelby Oaks, and is actually written and directed by one of the YouTube legend, Chris Stuckman. So definitely interested to see that movie too. But let me know, are you interested in seeing this movie? Have you seen this movie already? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know if you like the film or not, and what you agree and what you disagree. But, thank you for watching, and just keep snacking, keep watching, and keep it real. And I see you in the next video. Take care, and goodbye.